30 on September 21st, 2023. This is the scheduled City of Woodland Park Board of Review meeting. And I'll ask Mr. Burgess here to call roll, please.
Chairman Mac McVicker,
Yes.
Derek Carpenter.
Here.
Jeff Smith.
Here.
Patrick Vitaliano.
Here.
And for the record, Jeff Cahill was unable to attend the meeting.
Thank you, Dave. If everybody would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. If you're honorably discharged vet or currently active duty, you can salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Next item on the agenda is approval of meeting minutes from our last meeting in March the 16th. So let's see, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. That's 6 months ago. Eric, you're doing a great job. Keep it up, sir.
Thank you.
We've always had a good relationship with Regional, and I do not hesitate to recommend them and applaud them for what they do to keep us running smoothly. So I didn't see any changes to the minutes. Does anybody else have any changes?
I'll move approval.
Second. We have a motion and seconded to approve the minutes as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Dave, just so I don't mess up like I've done before, I'm gonna sign them right now. Dave, thanks for your wonderful job of minutes together.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So we don't normally have any consent items, with none today, no complaints. We're down to item number 6, variance or appeals hearings. And I would like to preface going into these officially with a request of, I think your name is Billy Johnson.
Yeah.
Mr. Johnson, do you have any objection if we move you down on the agenda and get the other 2 variances out of the way fairly quickly? Thank you very much for that. So we'll go to variance 5 and variance 6. They're both with Habitat for Humanity, both about the same thing. Has everybody read those variance requests? Don't need to read it here then. Basically what it is, we've got a little bit extra space in the crawl space. It's over the 5-foot limit. And let me just say this, ever since we have been under regional, when we got asked to leave the county of Pillar building department almost 10 years ago now, there's been I call it a DMZ, because that's something I understand, demilitarized zone. Up to 5 feet is a crawl space, 7 and above is a basement, but 5 feet to 7 feet is undefined no man's land. And to change that, if you, Habitat or anybody ever wants to, you can go before the city council to request a change to Appendix J of the Pikes Peak Regional Building Department Code 2023 now, to change those heights and make it whatever the building community wants. We can make that change. So everybody can read, they know what 5'2", 5'3" is. I'll ask the petitioners, I assume you're Sarah Vestal. Yeah. Sarah, this is the Board of Review. Dave Burgess, you know everybody over here. Do you have anything to say?
I just want to say that, you know, it's only a couple of inches and ideally we would have kept it to 5 feet, but we made a mistake and at this point our house is almost finished, so it was really a heck of a lot of work to get dirt down in the crawl space now, so.
Yeah, 5 gallon bucket at a time is a lot of work.
It would be, yeah, so, we are really hoping, that we don't have to delay the, homeowners that are planning to move in the next couple weeks. So.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks.
However, I do know a lumber yard in town that will sell you 5 gallon buckets.
Oh, yes, oh, yes.
If I may, Mr. Chair, too, if you know the homes that we're building, the ICF homes, there is no access from the outside. So to be able to get there, we would have to go to the entrance to the crawl space, which is in the center of each one of the duplex. So there is really no feasible way,
Which is about a 30-inch by 30-inch hole.
yeah,
Yeah.
for us to get that down there, and we're asking for the variance. Because it is only a half an inch to a couple inches, and because they are ICF block houses, there is no way anybody can live down there. It's not accessible to any outside product. Nobody can store their ATVs down there. All those type of issues as to why that's a problem. So, and because we really, to get it done, we have no money. So Habitat is in dire financial situation. I am the treasurer of Habitat's board, and we are in process of dissolving because we just don't have any money to continue on, and we have people in line to help us finish this project. But we need to get these two homeowners who are approved, have the money, they have the mortgage, we just need to get these done, so we're asking for your help with it. Thank you.
Okay. Would the representative from Regional care to comment on this variance?
Eric Ramirez, Regional Building Department. We take no exception to it.
Any questions, comments from the team here? Okay, we're going to approve this.
Are you sure?
Hang on. We are going to vote on this in two separate motions by each one. Okay, so we follow the rules here. Sorry, I spoke premature.
So then we're gonna be me and you make the motions and one of us will second and then we'll vote on it.
Okay.
Okay?
So do I hear a motion on variance 2023-05B 530 Hikers Way owned by Habitat for Humanity at present to allow 5 foot 3 inches instead of 5 feet?
So moved.
You want a second? Oh, definitely. I
All
second.
right, we have a motion and a second for this first variance. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Moving on to variance 2023-06B 532 Hikers Way, right next door to it. Again, owned by Habitat for Humanity of Teller County to approve 5 foot 2 as opposed to the 5 foot requirement. Do I hear a motion on this variance?
I move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay. You're done with us.
Thank you very much.
And sorry to hear about the
I am too.
financial troubles of Habitat.
We're working on it, but we're happy that we have this nonprofit stepping in that's gonna be able to continue what we were be able to do there, but with, yeah, as our really, COVID really is what really hurt us.
Yeah.
We've never been able to recover from that. We did our best and put 3 pretty nice buildings up there. You know, but we did the best we could.
Yeah.
And it is what it is, so. Yeah, thank you.
Thank
for your
you.
help.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Nice seeing you or meeting you, sir. I didn't know who you were before
Thank you.
today.
Thank you.
Okay, on to our first variant. And again, thank you for letting us reorder the sequence here. This is variance 2023-04B 161 Dewell Road. Is that the way you see it?
Dual.
Dual Road, owned by Billy and Leanne Johnson. They request a variance to the 2015 IECC that's For those of you that don't know what that is, that's the International Energy Conservation Code. Section R 402.1.2. This is in the residential section, not the commercial. As amended by the 2017 Pikes Peak Regional Building Code, including Appendix J, which is just for Woodland Park, to allow for an exception to the garage insulation and heat loss calculation requirements for installation of a heating unit in the owner's residential attached garage. The house, the Johnson's house, was issued a certificate of occupancy on August 17th, 2023. Due to a lack of garage slab perimeter insulation, the garage heater and venting that had been installed was removed so they could get, and the gas line was capped, so they could get a certificate of occupancy. The owners now request a variance to install a garage heating unit. Mr. Johnson, I'm going to give you the floor first, sir.
Gas heater, full pairs, 2.5 car garage. Does have a sink in it, plumbing, so that, you know, I'm trying to keep that warm. Plus myself when I do stuff out there. Had I known about the insulation I need to build on the perimeter walls, you know, I would have done it. I'm new here, I would have, you know, I built her. Didn't mention it to me, say anything about it, but we need to insulate the perimeter walls. You know, underneath the ceiling wall. So, of course, we were trying to get in the house, we've been building on our 2 years. Then some delays, COVID again, caused some delays in the first yard. So, we're just asking for, we had the heater installed as it was spoke of, and then when the team I inspected it, the builder said, no, it's not insulated underneath the stem walls. Of course, you can't get to it now. Concrete on top of it, garage floor. But had I known, I would have done it in the first place, but I didn't know that was, you know, an item that was up here, so we're just asking to reinstall it.
What was the date of your permit, the original permit on the house? Said it took 2 years, 2 years to build, so back in, or sometime in 21. And that put us then under the 2015, as it says here, 2015 code. And at that time, it would have been the 2017 regional RBD code. So that's good for this discussion today, because it gives us some latitude in how we vote. I just want to let you know going forward, and you can pass the word on this. Any permit that's been taken out after the 1st of July 23 now has to meet much more stringent codes for this type of installation of gas appliances, heating load calculations, all of that. But you are grandfathered under the old one. Now, if you're done, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm going to let Eric represent regional here with his comments on this.
Just Eric with Regional Building Department. The permit was issued on May 31st of 2022. So it was under the 2017 RBC. I was the one to final out the project. So the attic and the walls are insulated. The only thing that wasn't was the garage slab, which did require that R10. But from RBD standpoint, we take no exception.
Okay. Well, like I said, we have a lot more latitude in your case than we would if the permit had been pulled after July the 1st, 23. We now have, I euphemistically call it the state energy czar, which weighs in on stuff like this in the future. So, all right, I'm done talking. You esteemed gentlemen have anything to add or say on this?
Was this shown on the plans when you drew the permit?
Yes.
It was shown on there. So there was no requirement for installation at that point?
There actually was.
Yeah,
Yes, the contractor had elected third-party inspections for all the foundation. So when it's done that way, we don't have any control over the inspections. We just are required to provide them, for them to provide us the third-party observations, which is usually done from an engineer stamp paperwork.
but when it goes through building review, was it denoted on the plans?
Yes, it was noted on the IECC res check, the R10 on the slab.
Does it also, would it qualify for having R10 on the inside of the foundation and not under the slab?
Yes, I have seen it done both ways where you could put R10 directly underneath the slab prior to pouring the slab.
Or on the inside of the foundation?
Yes.
Jeff, anything? Patrick? Okay. Well, since we have no objection from regional, thank you, Eric. Do I hear a motion to approve this variance?
I will move to approve the variance for this heater in the garage.
I hear a second.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve variance 2023-06B. Let's do a roll call vote on this, Dave.
I will do, Mr. Chair. Chairman McVicker,
Yes, approved.
Eric Carpenter.
Yes,
Jeff Smith,
Yes.
Patrick Vitaliano.
Yes.
And Mr. Johnson, we've had similar requests to this before us in the past. And we have made the same suggestion. We can't hold you to it. But since this is a gas appliance in an enclosed space, it's not a bedroom. You know, think you're gonna, hopefully you don't get in the doghouse with your wife and have to sleep out there. But you may want to put in a CO detector out there,
Okay. That's a good one.
just to protect yourself. Working underneath the car or something, and we've not had any incidences of anybody getting poisoned with CO, but we have requests of everybody that does this to put a CO detector out there.
they just plug in.
So with that,
I did have one item. So you guys are requesting the approval to admit the R10 at the slab?
Yeah.
Correct?
That's correct.
So all we would ask is you still would have to pull a permit for that heater. You would have building and mechanical come out there. Building, all they're gonna do is just verify, yes, there is insulation in the attic, and then there is insulation in the walls, which we can do off the permit history. And the mechanical will just do their portion of verifying that the unit's installed per the manufacturer installation instructions. Yeah, so it'll be under one permit.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And that's with the city.
It's through the city. You do the same process. You'll pull through the city and then through RBD.
If your mechanical contractor is doing it, many of them are set up online and they're able to do that online as well.
so that completes item 6 on the agenda for all 3 variance requests. Item 7, unfinished business. We have none that I know of. Anybody else? New business. Item 8, none. Anybody else?
Mr. Chair, I thought I would just update you on a couple of statistics here. So to date, so far, we've had 40 zoning development permits for single family residences. The same time last year, we had 36, so we're above a little bit. Our total zoning development permit activity, we're up some. Right now, we're at about 280. This time last year, we were at about 251. So it's definitely been a bit of an uptick there. I
Job
thought-
security for Eric.
Yes, sir. I would agree. Absolutely. I thought I'd throw just a couple of interesting statistics here. So to date, between all of our projects that have been permitted through Pikes Peak Regional, the valuation for all those projects are 46,805,789. The bulk of those are coming from the Caris student housing.
The
stuff.
residences out there.
Yeah, and then just for kicks, with all of Pikes Peak's jurisdictions, which are Woodland Park, Colorado Springs, El Paso County, Fountain, Green Mountain Falls, Manitou, Monument, and Palmer Lake. Their total dollar volume is almost 2.5 billion. So.
Where do we rank in
Very
that
busy.
compared to those other jurisdictions?
Well, you have to pull out the springs.
Yeah, I
I'm sorry.
haven't,
You pull out the spring.
Pull out Springs, pull out El Paso County.
I did not make that comparison.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't think we're at the bottom.
Oh, no, I wouldn't think so.
Okay.
Would you like that information?
Just,
We could certainly follow up.
just one-time comparison, please.
Okay, I can ask our PIO to get that information
Oh,
for you,
okay.
and then I could have him contact Dave, and Dave can forward that information to you.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Mac wants to do a trivia thing, so.
How did you guess that?
Actually, I have access to the tools. I can also pull that myself.
Oh, okay.
So I'd be happy to do that. Yeah, I can do that so we don't have to.
Thanks,
bother
David.
And-
Greg. Yeah.
Okay, that finished new business. Any other new business? Open discussion time.
I was gonna just provide a quick update. This is Karen, the planning director. And this doesn't impact this board directly, but I just thought you would find it interesting that in the planning division here, we are in the process of implementing basically tracking software for our development applications and then the code enforcement side of things. And, you know, the majority of the building permits, you know, go through RBD's software. But for our in-house just tracking of the zoning side of things, Dave will tell you that he keeps patching bubblegum into the access database. It's like on its last leg. I really swear there's bubblegum in it. And so, yeah, we're working on that and hopeful that, you know, by the beginning of the year, we'll be at least trying it publicly and starting to really work the bugs out of it. So.
So you've got another 3 to 4 months on the old system, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's just gonna take a bit. I mean, it's interesting how quickly they're potentially able to move for us. A lot of it is like anything else we're touching, is just capacity issues that we can only do what, 22 things at a time, Dave?
About 20.
Yeah, okay. So, you know, it limits us. So anyhow, I just thought I'd fill you in that is like one of those things behind the scenes that's going on. And at some point when we get it up and running, and we will be doing some training for the development community, and we can certainly provide like a little demo for you guys too, just to
Thank
kind
you.
of see what's going on behind the scenes, how we're making the sausage for folks.
Will that make it more user-friendly for developers?
That is the theory. That is the hope and the plan. And one of the other things, since I've been here, it's been pretty clear that some of it is like what we communicate and when to the developers.
Okay.
So I'm trying to we're using this as an opportunity to really reflect on those things. And so there's potentially more meetings throughout the development process, but I think it will help with that communication about what to expect, what's going on, just kind of what some of this looks like. I do think that'll help smooth some of that out, and really expected to provide considerably more consistency, because things have been kind of fluid and to the point where we're, you know, just a little frustrated sometimes too, in terms of, okay, how do we get here?
Mhm.
How do we pick this up and go forward? So because, you know, it's very methodical with check boxes along the way in the process. So it's pretty easy to like know exactly where you are, and then that ability for the developer to see that process.
Thanks for that update.
Yeah.
Hopefully it helps Dave's job a little bit.
Yeah, well, we're hoping ultimately our citizens will benefit the most. It'll hopefully streamline the application process for them and make sure that, you know, we're receiving complete applications. It'll prompt them for what they need to upload, what they need to do. So, you know, hopefully it'll help the entire community with the permitting process, and maybe they'll understand what is required and what's needed for a complete application a little better. So that's the hope.
I do want to like manage expectations a little bit. Like anytime you're breaking in something new, it's a little challenging. So I really do expect 2024 to be, you know, a little white knuckly in terms of like, this is the improvement. But I think once we find that groove, it really will be helpful. But it's just that transition and change, and
Are you beta testing it now?
not quite there yet. The code stuff, we're playing with a little bit behind the scenes. Where it's challenging at the moment is it will tie into a GIS so that we have that graphical interface. And we're working with the county in terms of obtaining that information for what we need for this software package. So,
Yeah, the one that, because I sat on the planning commission for the county and that one seems to work fairly well, but it took them some little bit of tweaking too.
Is it the same software?
I don't know if it's the same software, if you guys are looking at the same type of software the county has, or if you're going different.
I don't know what company they have. We've signed with Civic Gov is the
Okay.
name of it.
And I'm not sure what we've got over there,
Yeah.
so.
And they do a variety of different modules for local government, including one for permitting, but we don't need that since we have these guys. So we're on the planning side, and then the code enforcement is what we're looking at. The city already uses some of their products with Civic Clerk, which is part of how we make the packets for city council. And then I believe our website is also one of the Civic Gov or Civic Plus products. So anyhow, very excited about that. But it's just gonna require some patience.
Great.
I have one last comment. On the 1st of November coming up in over a month. We are at the 10-year anniversary point of the Woodland Park Building Department and Board of Review. After we got kicked out of Teller County, they mentioned in June of 2013. You got until the 1st of November to come up with your own building department. A little history here, Sally Riley put a notice in the Courier basically about an ad hoc meeting to discuss the way forward. It was held in this room. She held one a couple of weeks later. I actually attended all of those meetings. And decision was made to go with regional. It's worked out, I think, very well for us. We've had 3 great inspectors up here, including the current one. I got to meet Mr. John Welton right up front, and Hank Yankowski held the position that Roger Lovell holds now. But November the 1st is our 10-year anniversary. I think you've been on this from day one.
Probably. Seems like it.
Yeah, I know you
Dave can
two.
tell me.
You two are a little later to the party, but we appreciate your being on here. Dave has been part of this from day one. You were already working for the city then.
Well, I started in June of 2014.
Okay, so
I
you were,
I-
your
I just
grandfathered in.
just barely missed the pain.
Yeah,
Well, that's why I'm on this board, because of him.
right.
That's why I'm on there too.
Yeah,
Well,
so,
I appreciate it.
but I was one of the inaugural members. And I'm quite proud of what this board has done. We have gone through 2 massive code cycles with regional. The first one, it was handled a little differently than the most recent one. We went through over 1,000 changes. One by one. With John Welton, Jay Inhouse, and a couple other people from regional that we sometimes argued with toe to toe. But everybody survived, everybody stayed friends, we kept it professional. And this most recent code cycle change was going along pretty smooth. We had already had opening discussions on it. Then the state threw a monkey wrench into the works with House Bill 22-1362 and model codes for electric wiring and solar panels and electric vehicle charging and a whole bunch of other stuff that regional got onto and figured out a transition plan. Instead of jumping to the top rung of a ladder, let's bite off smaller increments. And that's what the path we're on now. So that's just a thumbnail sketch of what we've done in the last 10 years. And Eric, I don't know how many various meetings you have to go to in other jurisdictions. Is it part of your job? I mean, I'm sure it is.
No, for the city of Woodland Park, John Welton takes care of El Paso County.
Okay. But I think we have some great knowledge sources on this team. Thank you. And thanks to city staff for the support we get from them. And from regional for the, let's see, we had Eric Martinelli, was that the first one?
That was Nick.
Nick
Martinell.
Nick
Martinell.
Martinell.
Yeah.
Tim Steinminder,
Tim Stein, yeah,
and now we have Eric.
and we have Eric.
I think Eric's been here the longest.
I think so too.
Mhm.
You're not thinking
might
of
be the
moving to
nicest, too.
Florida like some of the other ones have, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay, very good. So anyway, we're all volunteers. We all get paid the same amount, except for people on this side, but I thank you all for showing up and staying on top of these things. We've got a pretty good track record. We've never had a decision appealed by either side. And I'm proud of that. I am. And we've kept regional happy. They haven't appealed anything we've decided. So I just thank everybody for what we've been able to accomplish here.
Well, thank you, Mac, because you have a real love of the code and a knowledge of it. And so that's very helpful for us too.
Okay, well, you're quite welcome. I don't watch much TV. I've never been that interested in TV, so.
So you sit around and read the codes. I'm gonna, Eric, sorry, I'm gonna start calling Mac.
Never hurt my feelings.
Okay, if there's nothing else, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for participating.